Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Andrea and this is Beauty with Andy. So today's video is going to be my weekly shop my stash. We've had a bit of a change around yet again, just on top though this time. I've brought the glass thing back in that had all my lipsticks in. I've decluttered a lot of lipsticks from here, so this was free again, and I really like the way the Naked palettes look. So I have the original Naked, Naked Free and the Urban Decay Naked Honey. So they're all the Naked palettes I have in my collection. I've been using this. This needs to come back a bit. And then we've just got my makeup brushes up at the top, my setting spray. I've still not got around to using this. I've used it once, but because I'm using the e.l.f. dewy one, I want to use that up first. I mean, this is it here. It's in my NYX Dewy Finish bottle. Literally, there's nothing there, but like there must be some in the pump because it seems to be never ending. Then, like I said, I've got my makeup brushes, my planner is there. Right, so in this top drawer here, what we will be putting back is this Essence Fresh and Fit Awake Primer, Healthy Glow, Pore Minimising Effect Primer. I absolutely loved using this. It gives such a nice glowy finish. So yeah, that'll go back. What else? Nothing in this top drawer. This has been rolled into Project Pan now, so it's the Bourjois City Radiance foundation. There is this one. It's not Project Pan or anything like that, but I like to keep it in for a lighter foundation option. And then the rest really are things that I want to use up. So let's go down to the second drawer now. Right, so this e.l.f. Sheer Tint finishing powder will be going back. I absolutely love it, guys. I just don't want to use it up before I can buy a new one. It just looks like that, and it is in fact an actual dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury one. I wouldn't say it's as finely milled as the Charlotte Tilbury one from what I can remember, but it really is nice and looks flawless on the skin. So that can go back. And then these two powders can go back as well. I am so tempted to keep this one in for another week. Yeah, let's keep it in for another week. I really enjoy this under the eyes. So it looks like I found another under the eye setting powder. I didn't use this on my entire face. I used the Laura Geller one, which I'll show you in a minute. So this one is the Translucent Perfect Light Loose Powder. Really liked it for under my eyes, like I've said. The powder I used all over my face was this Laura Geller one in the shade Porcelain. So it's the Balance and Brighten foundation. I don't use it as a foundation, it's too light, I've said that before. Just looks like that. It's my oldest powder in my collection, that's why I pulled it. The dome on it is really flattening, so yes, a really nice powder that can go back in the collection. Right, so now let's briefly talk about these need to start getting more use. So we've got the PS Bronze Highlight and Glow. I did use it when I first put it in, but I've not used it since. I really used it for this shade here, which is the bronze topper, which is Sundown. I really love the highlights too, but this shade is Pool Party and it's far too dark. So yeah, that can stay in. And then we've got the Revolution and Imagination Highlight to the Moon palette, and this one has Project Pan powders in there, so they can both stay in. Oh, and this as well, this is a Project Pan powder, so this is the MUA Skin Define Hydro Powder, and it's hitting a lot of pan on that, so yeah, I'm pleased about that. So third drawer down, I was going to keep this in, but I've actually worn it today, so it can go back. It's the Illamasqua Lover and Hussy Blush Duo, which just looks like that. So On one of the days I mixed both the shades together, which looked really nice, but today I just used this shade, and because it's a matte blush, I don't really go in for matte blushes anymore. I topped it off with my NARS Orgasm, which is in Project Pan. Obviously, you know, it's going to take me so long to make even a dent in this thing. But yeah, it's one of my favourite blushes, and I'm like, when I get blushes like that now, I think I'll just use this as well as the blush topper. Right, nothing else in here can go back, it's all Project Pan. Just about be able to see it. All it is really is eyeshadows. I do need to use these eyeshadows. A lot of it's Project Pan, so yeah, I do need to use these singles. Maybe I'll do a get ready with me using my singles. So there's not really much there. And then fifth drawer down, you're not going to be able to see that. Let's right, fifth drawer down is mainly brow products and mascara and things like that. Right, so we've got the MUA Brow Define that I really did try and get on board with, guys. I just don't like it. It's a very stiff brow pencil, so that will be getting decluttered. I'm not going to declutter it now. I'm going to declutter it when I do my like brow product declutter. This one I've been wearing as eyeliner. It's the Matte Graph Black. Not my favourite, but I can obviously use it up. This I love. I definitely want to get more of these when I can. So it's Slay the Brow from Makeup Gallery at Poundland. I would highly recommend this. So it's a brow gel and it lasts up to 24-hour wear. So we're definitely going to be keeping that one. Model Launcher. This one is to be tried. Possibly could get decluttered, and I'm using this one by Sport Effects at the minute. So this one came in a glossy box or a birch box ages ago. It's like a micro mini pencil. It's like, it's got the tiniest nib on it. It's actually quite nice, and then I go over it with my brow gel. Then I've got this little nude pencil by Essence that is in Project Pan. Also, this is in an unofficial Project Pan, I guess, because there's no sticker on it. It's the only mascara in my collection, so yeah, well, it's the only one I'm using. So it's the PS 3D Lash Effect. This one is going to be getting decluttered. It's just too light for me. It's the Ardell Brow Building Fibre Gel. And then this I use because it's got the spoolie on it. This brow pencil, it was really good. I really enjoyed using it. And then that's everything from there. The rest of it is just like bits and pieces, like my pencil sharpener, my blotting sheets and whatnot. So now you've seen everything in the drawers, and we're going to be putting these back. There's not a lot of products here to put back. Just let's show you. I think you might just be able to see it. So these are the products that are going back. So now I'm going to take you over to my other acrylic with all my palettes in, and then we can go and shop my stash for the week. Right, so I don't think this is the best angle. I really do apologise about that. So palettes. So let's talk about Chloe Morello's Pretty Fun and Fearless collaboration that she did with Ciate. I honestly thought I was going to declutter this. I've used all the eyeshadows that I want to use in it. The top row I absolutely love. Can't complain about any of the eyeshadows. This shade here, Halo, OMG guys, it's such a perfect inner corner highlight. Love it. And I love these as transitions, Cocoa and Nini. This one is okay. It's not the most pigmented shimmer, and I really like Topless for all over the lid. Right, so we'll come into the middle row. Don't like any of those eyeshadows, and this Morello's Cherry actually fell out of the pan, so it obviously wasn't secure enough in the eyeshadow palette. I dropped the palette on the floor, but I've got really good carpeting. It's really soft and it shouldn't have fallen out basically. So if it keeps falling out, I'll just declutter that one. Then we've got the third row down. The third row down is okay. Love this shade here in Pony. Absolutely love it. Every time I've been wearing the palette recently, I've gone in with Ninny as a transition shade and Pony over the top of it, and it looks absolutely stunning. I really like that kind of shade though. Wore this yesterday, this platinum shade, and I really didn't like the way it turned out. This Ellie shade is quite nice. Yeah, it's quite nice, that I really did like it. Then we're going on the bottom row. So I really enjoyed this rose gold shade. Wearing this today, this copper shade. And to be honest, not a lover of it as much as I thought I would. That is totally my shade, but it's not as pigmented as I would like it. So these matte shades, Marron, that one, and Mecca and Beauty, are just not the kind of eyeshadows that I would like. It's not the palette's fault, it's my fault. I don't go in for all those dark eyeshadows, so I don't like them. I did use this one, I think, in a look when I used the palette. So that one is in the shade Soul, and it's not that pigmented. For a green, it really isn't pigmented, and I was really disappointed with it. And then we've got Chartreuse. Really enjoyed that. So there's probably, so how many eyeshadows is there that I like out of the palette? There's 5 there, 6, 7, 8. I'd say 9 eyeshadows out of 20, and that's less than half. So if I don't get a lot of use out of it, I'll just declutter it. I'm sure my mum would love this palette, but yeah, for now I'm keeping it in the collection, and it's off the chopping block. Look how stunning that packaging is though, guys. It is real pretty. Can't fault the packaging, it's just the eyeshadow quality. Right, and then we're going on to the Essence Beautiful. Lovely palette. I picked this up from TK Maxx before everything happened. I was lucky to actually get it. So yeah, it's a really stunning palette. I absolutely enjoyed using this one. Love this shade here, Fired Up. The mattes performed a lot better than the shimmers, to be honest, and there are a lot of, like, I would say similar shades. They're not similar, but like on the lids they do look pretty similar. So we've got Grijon and True Mate. I wouldn't say they're similar. Right, let's show you on the arm. Yeah, they're not that similar. That one's a lot darker, but the formula of the shimmers aren't that great, guys. But when it comes to the mattes, they are absolutely stunning. I love all the mattes in this palette. They've done a really good job. Essence formula is definitely getting a lot better. I feel the same way about Revolution's formula. Right, so we had a bit of a playtime with this. I'm going to be leaving the video in the card so you can go and check it out if you've not already. We did one eye with that orange, that green, and I can't remember what other shade I used. And then another eye, we used this gold here, I think that purple. I used that for the inner corner. It's just a really beautiful palette. So yeah, we'll put that back and we'll use her another time. And then we've just got this one. I do want to do a get ready with me using all my Makeup Geek eyeshadows. So this one will always stay in here, and we've got my Project Pan one as well, which needs to be used a little bit more this upcoming week. Right. So, can we see the middle drawer? Yeah. Right, so I didn't use this at all. I pulled too many products, so I'm going to be keeping this in. It's a PS Pure Glow highlighter palette, so I'm not going to be pulling any highlighters, probably not. yeah, otherwise it will be the same for next week. I just won't use it. So we pulled this sleek eyeshadow palette in Solstice. Guys, this is a stunning palette. It's just old. I mean, it performed really well. These like shades here. This yellow one is quite, it performs well, but it's starting to get hard pan on it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy them again. Like, you can get them in singles, and I'm going to start with this yellow one first because I really do like that shade. These two shades performed really well, and obviously I stayed away from the cream just because of the age of the palette. Oh yeah, we're putting that one back. Then we've got this Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. Now, I was really excited to be using this one again. So obviously, you know, I project panned it last year and really hit pan. Basically, I had to repress it and it works fine. But this highlighter, it didn't want to show up on my face at all. So once I pan that, I probably just declutter that entire highlighter, which is a shame because they are expensive products. So that's going back for now. And then we've got this curated face palette that I did myself. So it's my Z palette. Right. So I wanted to test the Benefit blushes more than anything, especially this shade here. Honestly, guys, it just doesn't show up. I've never really liked this blush anyway. That's it on the finger there. That's it on my hand there. It just wasn't showing up on my face. So I think, well, I know we're gonna declutter this when I do my blush collection. I think all the others are staying. I just want to use that again next week. So I'm going to keep this out for another week. Really enjoyed using this like contour shade and this highlighter shade and these two blushes together, so they're going to be staying. And I think these ones are going to be staying as well. It's just a matter of testing the Benefit box blushes out first. So yeah, let's keep that in for another week. So we don't need any blushes either. So it's going to be quite a boring Shop My Stash this week, just because we've got all that product. Right, so what we're going to be doing now is putting everything back, and then we will Shop My Stash for the week. Right, so we're going to start things off a little bit different this week. So let's go into the chopping block drawer, because I know there's an eyeshadow palette there that I want to use, just to see if I want it in the collection. It's the only eyeshadow palette left on the chopping block. So it's the NYX Smoky and Highlight eyeshadow palette. I've never actually used this. I bought it from someone on Facebook quite a while ago, and it's got like all the smoky eyeshadows, very much cool toned, and I just don't think it's for me, guys. If I want a cool toned eyeshadow palette, I can use my Urban Decay Smoked. So let's see how we feel about that. I'll probably do like 3 looks 1 palette with that, just to get a feel for it. I don't think there is anything in here left. Well, this is gonna go with my lipsticks. Don't want that in there anymore. That was Project Pan last year, that lipstick. Then we've got just a few single eyeshadows. So let's leave that there for the time being. Right, so now we're going to be moving on to my first drawer, which you can't see. Can you see it any better? I might have to adjust the tripod. Right, so this should do for now. Right, so primers, we do need a primer. So up next is this one. I've not used it for a while. It's the Japanesque Radiance Primer. Really like that one. So let's pull that. Foundations, we're not going to pull any foundations. Concealers, we're not going to pull any, just because I've been using the Rimmel Wake Me We don't need any like under eye setting powder because we're going to continue to use the number 7 one. Pressed powders, what's up? I think this is too dark personally. It's another, why is no pigment coming off it? It's another Laura Geller one. Right, so we'll pull it. It's the Bake Balance and Brighten Foundation in medium. I don't know if that is working. So we'll pull that, and we'll also pull this Wet n Wild one. It feels like I've used this quite recently, but it's like up as the next powder to use along with the Laura Geller one. And it's in neutral beige, sorry, not natural. I'm just wondering if I should pull another bronzer. How many bronzers have we got? Is it just, I know we've got the contour shade. I think it's just one plus my Project Pan ones. Let's just pull one more so we're actually using, actually no, there's a face palette from Sleek that I want to use, so we won't pull anything from here. Do we want to use another glowy product? Are we going to need it? We've got the primer. No, we've got the Radiance primer, so we'll just use that. Blushes, highlighters and face palettes. Right, so we've got a ton of highlighters, but I do want to test this one by Topshop. It's kind of a chopping block highlighter, so we will pull this. It's a white but like with pink reflect. Let's just do a swatch somewhere. Can you see it there at all? I just don't know if I want to keep it in the collection, so we will just pull that one. Is there any blushes that I really want to see if I want to keep? Because I'm going to be doing a declutter really soon, so I'm just trying to establish which I want and which I don't. I think we can leave that for a week. I don't want to pull any of these face palettes. The face palette that I want is in the 3rd drawer down, so just let me reposition. Right, so the face palette I really want to use, just to see if it's still good, is this Sleek Makeup contour and blush palette in the shade Light. Had it for a hot second. So you get obviously the bronzer, the highlight and the blush. This is a lot like Orgasm, so, and it's still really pigmented. In fact, it's probably more pigmented than my NARS Orgasm is. So yeah, we will pull that one. Eyeshadow palette, we're gonna need to pull another one of these, so we'll go for a neutral one. Which one shall we use? These are very similar, aren't they? So we've got the Revolution Velvet Rose, which looks really nice, and then we've got the Revolution Reloaded Affection. Right, let's put the Affection back and use Velvet Rose. Whoops. And I want a colourful palette as well. Let's see what we've got on this bottom row. I don't think there's too many colourful eyeshadow palettes in here, but I did want to use this one. I got this for my birthday back in 2019. I've never used it. I know it needs to be used. I've said this so many times. It came to me broken. A few shades did this yellow, orange shade, this brown shade here. It was a hot mess, but I got it next to nothing because of that fact. So I do want to trial it, and if I don't like it, then I think I will be decluttering it. So there's that one. So that makes 3 eyeshadows. I think 3 eyeshadow palettes is more than enough for a week, isn't it, guys? Yeah, I would say so. We can dip into this again next week. But yeah. Right, so it really doesn't feel like we've pulled a lot for this week. It's just these products here. Hope I haven't forgotten anything. Anyway, let's get into it. So that one can go over there. The palettes need to go over there as well. Okay, so that can go there. Right guys, so we've not really pulled a lot. There's nothing in the top drawer that we've pulled, so that's stayed the same. The powders have slightly changed. We've put in the Laura Geller one and the Wet n Wild one. Middle drawer has just got the Sleek Face palette in it and the highlighter from Topshop that I want to try. And then there's nothing in this drawer here, nothing in this drawer. So we've not really pulled a lot of products. We've pulled a few eyeshadow palettes that I want to try. The PS Beauty highlighter palette from last week is staying in, and also my Z palette from last week is staying in. So we're going to be using those products again. I know it's a slightly more boring Shop My Stash for me. Normally I'm pulling everything, but I don't want to be pulling too many products in and not being able to use them like I did last week. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you're all staying safe and well, and most of all staying sane. Thank you so much for watching today. It really does mean a lot to me, and I will see you in my next one. If you've not already subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate it and would love to have you as part of my growing family here on YouTube, and I will see you again soon. Bye guys.